Zimbabwe has seen an influx of hybrid vehicles over the last couple of years, with fuel economy being the major pulling factor for most drivers. But do you understand the full benefits and complexities of HEVs and PHEVs? Short Shift spoke to one expert to uncover the mystery of hybrid electric vehicles.
If I'm going to say in 30 seconds, tell us who you are and why you think we should be asking you about hybrid electric cars, what would you say?
Okay, so my name is Taurai Raymond Severa. I grew up in Glenora, so I'm an automotive technician, certified in over 30 systems. We're talking about AACs. Reason why you're asking me is because I'm certified as a master hybrid and electrical vehicles technician, and I'm also advanced level specialist, AAC, that is advanced level specialist in hybrids and electrical vehicles.
Okay, that's good. All right, look, you talk about, let's start with the hybrid vehicle. In general, I know nothing about vehicles.
Sure.
What's a hybrid?
Okay, so in layman's terms, hybrid means is dual sources of propulsion power. So you're having two sources of power in a vehicle, to propel. You have your electric side, then you have your conventional or your traditional side, which is the engine that we all know. That's basically your hybrid. It's two sources of power that sometimes work together, or one of that is working independently of each other. It depends with the mode of the driving.
Okay. And then the electric car. Is that different?
Yes. Electric is more like fully blown hybrid side of the electric side of the hybrid. Like I said, hybrid is half electric, half conventional or traditional car. So full electric doesn't depend on the engine. It doesn't have an engine at all. There's no sound. So it's relying on the battery pack, or the rest. We call it a rechargeable energy storage system. So
how is it working if it doesn't have an engine?
Okay, so it's actually having electric motors driving the wheels, getting the source of power from the high voltage battery pack.
Right. So let's go back to the hybrid.
Yes.
It also has an electric motor?
Yes, it does. It's like a miniature of the electric car, of a full electric car. That means a smaller battery, smaller probably electric motor, smaller things than that you would get on a full electric car.
Okay. So this is two engines on one car when you talk about a hybrid.
Yes. You might put it like engines, but the engine,
one engine
and the other one is a high voltage battery pack. So the engine and the high voltage battery pack. So the engine drives the gearbox or the transmission and drives the differentials on a normal car. So with electric, it has the source, like the engine is the battery pack, which is the source of energy. So it's going to drive the electric motor to drive the wheels.
Right. We understand that electric cars, you get to charge it.
Yes.
Hybrid cars, do you also charge them?
Yeah, we do have what we call plug-in hybrid electrical cars. We'll talk about that in depth. But what we're talking about right now for people to understand is HEV, which is the hybrid electrical vehicle. There is a PHEV, which is the plug-in hybrid electrical vehicle. It's like hybrid on steroids.
So the Aqua, the new Honda Fit, what are those?
Those are HEV, like hybrid electrical vehicle. So it doesn't need to charge. So basically you have an engine which works like a generator that charges the electric side of the high voltage battery pack. So it charges itself. That's exactly what we need in the country like Zimbabwe, where the infrastructure hasn't developed for us to have an EV or electric vehicle.
Are you saying the combustion side charges the electric side?
Exactly. That's right. So the engine actually drives the electric motor. Sometimes, because let's put it an example with the Aqua that you're talking about. It's got two electric motors. So one is a generator, the other one is a drive motor. Like that's the one that drives the wheels. The other one is actually more like in sync with the engine. So every time the engine is turning, it's kind of turning the one that charges the car, the generator. So we call it motor generator. So basically, that's the one the engine drives and charges the electric battery pack.
But when does the battery then take over?
All right, sometimes when you're launching, okay, let's say you're from 0 to 10 kilometers or maybe 10 miles, use full electric. That's more like the high voltage battery pack is the source of power. Then we drive them from the battery pack. Then sometimes in between, the hybrid kind of blends. It thinks it's an intelligent system that thinks when it needs two sources of power. But basically, when you're full EV is when you're launching, when you're starting to drive the vehicle. It's full electric. There's no engine there.
Wow. Okay. Now, that basically, like what you're saying, means that you're saving a lot of fuel.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yes.
What are the numbers we're talking about?
Yeah, we're talking about using a conventional car compared to hybrid electrical car or HEV. You save more than $8,000 to $10,000 12 months, like a year.
Wow.
That's a lot of money to actually buy another. In terms of Zimbabwe, you can actually buy another Aqua.
Let's talk about kilometers per liter here. I like kilometers
Yes.
per liter.
Yeah. Cool. So it's about 35. When the Aqua is actually sound, when the high
Say
voltage,
that again?
35 kilometers.
35.
35 with a liter of fuel.
35.
35. Sometimes actually 40, depends on your driving mode or your driving ways.
Wow.
That's a lot of kilometers to travel over with 1 liter of fuel.
But someone will be out there and they're asking, but I don't get that. I have an Aqua. I have a Honda Fit hybrid, and they're not giving me 35. They're not giving me 30. In fact, they're giving me 20 sometimes.
So in that case, that would be the high voltage battery pack which will have degraded or depleted. So actually, the battery pack itself expires in a way, if you're trying to say, or it depletes. It wears out. It's a battery. So when you charge it and discharge it, it wears out. So you need to change it after a certain time, like maybe 10 years, 12 years, thereabout. Depends if you've been servicing it. So those guys who are not achieving 35 or 30, it's because the high voltage battery pack is compromised.
Is there a time that you're going to tell us how to make sure that, number one, my battery pack doesn't go out, or I can maintain my battery pack? Is there a way that I can get to the numbers, the 35?
Yes, exactly.
Will you be able to do that in our next episode?
Yeah, I will tell you much more than that you need to do to take care of your alcohol, take care of your GP5 or whatever you call it.
Is it possible?
Very possible.
Can I get better numbers after listening to what you'll be saying?
Definitely.
Doing exactly what you're saying.
Yes, you can. Definitely. Because there is some servicing that needs to be done on the high voltage battery pack itself. Just like you would do on an engine. You kind of change your spark plugs and stuff like that. We do the same with the high voltage battery pack. We can actually resuscitate or bring back the capacity.
Where did you learn this?
I'm sorry to say, but it's not like bragging or something. I actually get humiliated that I went all the way to go to America to learn instead of learning here. It's because we haven't moved with time, So basically education or training that I have received is from America, and I continue to do that right now.
What sort of car would you advise someone to buy if someone has all the money? A regular combustion vehicle, a hybrid, or an EV?
I would say it's the dumbest thing we could do to buy, a conventional, traditional car this year, this time, in 2022. Hybrid and electrical cars started way back, like 1890. So basically the world has embraced the hybrid and electrical vehicles since 1997, when the Toyota Aqua came into play. So can you imagine 1997?
Are you saying the Toyota Aqua was the first one?
Yeah, the Toyota Aqua was actually the first commercial. It sold so many numbers. We had EVs back then, even 70s and even 80s, but they were not successful. But we had our breakthrough through the Toyota Aqua. They call it Gen 0 because it was manufactured in Japan in 1997. Then there's the Gen 1 that we know, which started in America in 2000.